Hey guys, so today we're going to do the unboxing and overview of the Cayin N8ii digital audio player, or DAP. So this is the former flagship DAP of Cayin, which is a Chinese audio company, mostly well known for making tube amplifiers and digital audio players, and DAC dongles as well. But yeah, this originally came out in 2022, I believe, as a successor to the N8, which I also reviewed before on my channel. Their current flagship is the N8ii, which just came out this year. But that was actually a limited release. So the N8ii, I think they only made like 500 of those. And then the N8ii is also a limited release. So technically, this one, the N8ii, is still their only flagship DAP that's not limited release, which is kind of interesting because, yeah, this came out like 4 years ago. Anyways, why I got this is because I wanted to get rid of my Sony Walkman WM1Z. Since I had the 1ZM2, the successor. I wanted to sell it, and then someone on HeadFi offered to trade me the N8ii for it, and I was like, okay, well, I've never owned the N8ii or did a video on this, so sure, you know, I'll take it. And price-wise, like, this thing retailed originally for $3,500 US, which is fairly similar to the WM1Z back in 2016, except this device is much newer than the WM1Z was, but it runs Android. WM1Z ran like just a custom operating system. So anyways, I thought that it was a pretty fair trade, so I took the N8ii, and yeah, I haven't done any kind of video on it. I've never listened to it before, so I thought it might be cool to check it out. It's not my first Cayin device I've done on my channel. Like, I took a look at the N6 III recently, the N7 I've done before, the RU7 dongle, and the original N8 as well. I had the brass black version. So yeah, I'll be taking a look at this one and actually compare it to some of the other ones I had in the past. Yeah, let's do the unboxing first, and then I'll get down to the specs and everything. So the box it comes in is actually kind of interesting, I guess, because it has this little cutout where it says N8ii here. And this thing is tube powered, by the way, so that's why you see these little glowing lights here. It has Korg new tubes in it. This is kind of a unique thing about it. And yeah, nothing else on the back, so let's just take a look. So yeah, basically just open the flap here, and there's the DAP right there, already in its leather case. This is a secondhand version, so I think the original would have had the leather case separate, but yeah, take a look at this in a bit. I have some warning thing here, and if you got anything else here, maybe not. We just do have like a little drawer down here, so let's pull open the drawer. Okay, so it says Cayin. Their slogan is "Never be the same again." Actually, you see this when you turn on the player as well. It says "Never be the same again." Okay, and what do we get inside here? The N8ii manual. Of course, they're a Chinese company, so they have Chinese version, but they should have an English version as well. And let's see. Okay, so thank you for choosing N8ii as master quality digital audio player, not just any digital audio player, master quality. Packaging and accessories, yep. So it does come with a protective case and a protective screen cover as well. That's nice, and then some adapters. I wonder if that's all in here. And then buttons and control, I'll go over those in a bit. Menu and settings is just about how to operate the player, but it's running Android basically, so, or actually it's running Hibi OS, which is a skin on Android. Yeah, which is built on top of Android, I should say. Basic operation, connecting headphones, music playback. It's using the Cayin music app by default. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, it's just instructions of the player. But for people who have used Android and music players and DAPs, I've used so many DAPs, right? I've done so many reviews on my channel, so I don't really need to go over all of this. This is just pretty straightforward stuff. Okay. USB DAC, okay. SPDIF digital output is possible as well through the USB-C connector. And USB audio outputs available through USB-C connector, yep. And there's an I2S digital output Yeah, I think this is going to be similar to the N7 that I did a video on before in terms of the form factor, which is Wi-Fi, charging, and okay, let's look at the specs here. Okay, so this is the specs of the N8ii here. The CPU is a Snapdragon 660, runs Android 9.0. Actually, it's HiBOS or HiBOS built on Android 9.0. What HiBOS or HiBOS does is it bypasses the built-in limitation in Android for the bitrate. So yeah, this one can, you know, with high-res files, your high-res FLACs and DSDs, it should be able to output at the native bitrate instead of having Android downsample it, which is nice. So the DAC is, this is a DAC that I've never heard before. This is a ROHM BD34301EKV. There's two of them. So I've always kind of been interested to kind of hear what ROHM DACs sound like. So ROHM is a Japanese semiconductor or chip company, and they're not really known for making DACs. Usually when it comes to DAC chips, the most well-known ones are ESS Technology, who makes the Sabre line of DAC chips, and Asahi Kasei, who makes the AKM line of DAC chips, and Cirrus Logic, who makes the CS line of DAC chips. So those are the main three, I would say, when it comes to digital audio players: Cirrus Logic, Asahi Kasei, and ESS. So I've never heard a ROHM DAC before. They're kind of a new player in the business. So what happened was AKM, Asahi Kasei, had a factory fire back in the, I think, around 2020. And because of that, a lot of other audio manufacturers, they had to switch to using like ESS Sabre DACs and Cirrus Logic, and just had to find other DACs aside from AKM. And I think that's when ROHM kind of jumped into the fray as well. And yeah, they released their line of audio DAC chips. But yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to listen to these. I've never heard a ROHM DAC chip before. And I believe the Cayin N8ii is the first DAP to use them. And I don't really know many DAPs that use it at all. Still to this day, there's not too many DAPs that use the ROHM DAC chip. N8ii is one of the only ones using it. So it's interesting. They're the first DAP to use it, and I think they might be one of the only ones. I'm not sure if which other DAPs use it, but definitely N8ii is one of the more notable ones using the ROHM DAC chip. They also have a vacuum tube here, just like in the N8. The Korg New Tube 6P1, and there's two of them. This is the same as in the N8. So I've done a video on the Cayin N8 before. The N8 was, let's see, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it is the first digital audio player to have vacuum tubes actually inside the player. Nowadays you see a lot more digital audio players with tubes inside of them, usually using the Jan 6418 military sub-miniature tubes, which to my ears don't really sound all that tubey. In all the implementations that I've heard, the new tube actually sounded quite good. Actually, it sounded pretty tubey in the N8. So this one, even though it's not like a really old school vacuum tube or anything like that, it operates a bit differently. But actually, it's supposed to operate the same as a traditional vacuum tube, but in a smaller size, and it takes up way less power. So it's basically the evolution of a traditional vacuum tube, the Korg New Tube. So yeah, and I think in my experience, I prefer the new tube to the Jan 6418 tubes that they use in a bunch of DAPs now. I think the new tube actually usually works pretty well, and I also have amplifiers that I've played before using the new tube, like the Vox MV50. They actually were pretty good. So I've actually been pleasantly surprised with a lot of new tube technology. Yeah, anyways, I like the tube sound on the N8. It actually did sound quite tubey for me. So yeah, I'm interested to hear what it sounds like on the N8 too. But yeah, same tubes as in the N8. Updated DAC chip, of course. It was the 4497 on the N8, and there was two of those, and they upgraded, or I'm not sure if it would even be an upgrade, but let's just say they switched the DAC chips to using ROHM instead of AKM, because the fire at the time that happened reduced the amount of chips available. So yeah, that's the differences between N8 and N8ii so far. Just in terms of specs, you have the DAC changed from the AKM 4497 to the BD34301EKV, and the vacuum tube is the same. Display also got bigger with the N8ii as well. The N8, the original one, had a fairly small, was a 3.7 inch display, I think. Yeah, this one is 5 inches OLED, and the OLED is quite notable because not a lot of flagship digital audio players have OLED. Out of those that I know of, like Onyx XM5, that's not really like flagship level. It's not quite as expensive as the N8ii or anything, but that's OLED. And And what else? I don't know really, because like all the flagship iBaso DAPs, Hy-Vee DAPs, Acetone Kern DAPs, even Sony Walkmans, can't think of any actually that use OLED. So N8ii is actually might be the only like flagship in the $3,000 price range that actually use OLED. So it's pretty cool that they actually have an OLED display here. Of course, I got Wi-Fi here, ABGN AC. This is 442 grams, so it's not a small player. I'll show you guys like the size. It's definitely not a small player. Substantially bigger than the N8 actually. Testing condition, battery duration. Okay. So yeah, you can see how long it lasts in terms of the battery, both vacuum tube and solid state. I'm expecting, yeah, vacuum tube to be taking up more power than the solid state. And then you get the charging time as well, which is 7 hours for vacuum tube, 4.5 for the solid state. Cool. Okay, now let's check out the power. Okay, so the power rating from the 3.5 single-ended is standard would be 32 ohms on the standard power, high power. So it can go up to 500 milliwatts on the 3.5. Basically, I'm going off of the 32 ohm high power output, which is this is standard for what you consider to be the max level of power from that jack. So yeah, about 480 milliwatts, or yeah, half a watt on the 3.5 unbalanced. On the 4.4 balanced, you get about 750 milliwatts out of the balanced. So that's pretty good amount of power. I don't see why it would be any different between solid state and vacuum tube. They should be having the same power. So yeah, they do have the same power. It's just the harmonic distortion would be more on the tube. Yeah, so the solid state would have 0.03% THD, and the vacuum tube side has 0.05%. Definitely more, and that's to be expected because usually vacuum tubes they have way more distortion and noise compared to the solid state. And that's not a bad thing, you know. That's what people are actually looking for in tubes is harmonic distortion, right? Good harmonic distortion. But yeah, let's just say for the power output, about 480 milliwatts on the single-ended and 750 milliwatts on the balanced. That's enough for most headphones, unless you have like a Hyphamis Svara or anything like that. Like you really hard to drive planars or something like that. Unless you have something like that, the Cayin N8ii should be able to drive most headphones out there in IEMs, no problem. Line level output, you have some of the specs for that, as well as the digital audio interface. So yeah, Cayin does put a digital interface, which is an I2S port on their DAPs, which is something unique to Cayin. I haven't really seen many other DAPs have a dedicated I2S port on yeah, I haven't seen many other companies put a dedicated I2S port on their DAPs. It seems like only Cayin. I've only seen the N7 and the N8ii and their higher end DAPs have it. But it's really nice to have it, right? It's a nice little option. Of course, it makes the DAP a lot thicker though. So that's why I think other DAP manufacturers usually don't put it on it, because it's kind of like a niche option. I don't know how many people use I2S ports, but it's kind of a niche thing, and they probably think it's not worth adding thickness. Okay, so oh, this is Japanese. Okay, anyways, it's a lot from the manual here. Okay, this was with case. Okay, we also get the two adapters here, which is nice. So let's see, we get adapter, I believe, to a 2.5 and a 4.4. Is that right? Or is this 2.5 adapter? Let me take a look here. Okay. You get 4.4 to 2.5, 3.5 to 2.5. Okay. Okay, I see. If you have a 2.5, yeah, if you have a 2.5 millimeter cable, these are adapters to convert them to 4.4 and 3.5. And the reason why you might do that is because like 2.5 balanced is kind of an outdated standard now. Acetone Kern was pushing it pretty hard back in the 2010s, but I think by 2020 the Pentacon 4.4 connector won out in terms of being the main balanced headphone connector. So there's still a lot of people have like 2.5 inputs and stuff like that, because you know that was one of the other balance standards at the time. So Cayin put these in case you want to convert those. So yeah, 2.5 to 4.4, which is the main balance standard now, and then 2.5 to the unbalanced 3.5. Yeah, because 2.5 is really not used much anymore. 4.4 basically is the standard now. But back in the 2010s, you know, Aston Current and some other DAP makers really tried to push 2.5 hard. Mostly the Korean ones like Opus and Aston Current, maybe Cayin as well. They tried to push the 2.5. It's mostly Korean DAP makers that try to push it. Anyways, that's it for the box. Alright, so let's take a look at the Cayin N8ii now. So as you guys can see, this is quite a big and thick DAP. It looks more like a portable battery pack than it does a digital audio player. I mean, just look at how like big and thick it is, right? So yeah, that's part of the reason why I was not so interested in the N8ii. I mean, I got this through a trade, but I did not buy it just standalone because I wasn't too interested in it because of the form factor. I've always had an issue with modern flagship DAPs having like this kind of big form factor that's really big and heavy, and it's really just for home use more so than portable use. I mean, yes, technically you can bring it in your backpack, but can you think of like fitting something like this in your pocket? This is not something you would just fit in your pocket when you're working out. This is like way too big. So I have an issue with that. A lot of the modern like Aston Current DAPs, and I think it's Aston Current that I blame for this issue. They really made their DAPs really too big, and then all the other DAP manufacturers followed suit. So yeah, all the Aston Current like SP3000, SP4000, and Cayin N8ii, N8ii, and yeah, Haibi RS8, Shanling M8T, iBaso DX340, FiO M23, M27. I mean, not M23, sorry, M27 and what was it, M17. Yeah, the M17 was what I was thinking about. Those DAPs are just way too big. So I have an issue with that. But yeah, I don't have the original N8 here. But if you guys look at my old videos, or if you guys know what the original N8 looks like, it's a very unique looking DAP with a very unique design. It had like two knobs on the side here, one for volume and one for like play, pause, next track. It was very interesting in terms of the design. And it's a kind of a shame that Cayin went with this design instead, because this is just more of like a generic brick looking DAP. So yeah, the N8 definitely was more unique looking and more distinctive looking. Then the N8 went to this like kind of more big thick DAP design, which I don't like quite as much. And again, compared to the original N8, DAC has been changed from the 4497 EQ to the ROM BD34301. The original N8 had a non-Android operating system that was dedicated for playing music. N8ii features an open Android 9 system. And original N8 had a single core GNU Tube 6P1 because, so this is something I forgot about, okay, I have to correct myself on this. The original N8 had only one core GNU Tube 6P1. That's why it was only available on the single and the 3.5mm jack. The other jack, the 4.4, was solid state only. You couldn't switch it into tube mode. So that was a little bit unfortunate for the original N8. But the N8ii, because it has two core GNU tubes, it's available on both the single-ended 3.5 and the balanced 4.4 jack. So that's a good improvement, right? The original N8, I remember I had to connect like an adapter, 4.4 to 3.5 adapter if I wanted to get the tube flavor. But this one, just connect, you know, whatever 4.4 native connector cable you have, and you'll get the full tube flavor out of it. Also, the original N8 has a smaller battery. I'm not I forget about the size, but the N8ii, this battery is massive. As you can see from how thick it is, yeah, you can kind of guess how big this battery is. 10,000 milliamp hours. Yep, 10 to 11 hours of playback. So that's quite a bit. Yeah, the size of this device is just wow. Always gets me. Let's take it out of the case actually, so you guys can see it easier. So this is a 5-inch OLED display, which is nice. And then you have a capacitive home button right here. Up on top, you have the volume dial here with a volume knob, which is really nice. It actually reminds me of a low 2 volume knob because of the etched design here. And that's always a good thing, right? You can see the etching here with the gold volume dial right here, really nice, and it has a nice tactile feel as well. So this is definitely one of the nicest volume knobs I've felt. It's really maybe not quite up there with the low toggle touch, but still it's getting close. At bottom you have a few ports. Actually, this is quite a bit of ports. You have a balanced 4.4, you have a 3.5 normal, like unbalanced single-ended, then you have a line out just for 3.5, and then you have a USB-C for charging, and you have the I2S port, which, like I said, doesn't exist on too many digital audio players. Cayin is one of the few DAP manufacturers to include an I2S digital audio out port here. That's pretty cool if you need it. A lot of people don't need it, don't care for it. That's why a lot of other DAP makers don't usually put this on there. But yeah, the N7 and the N8 both have this, or N8 II, I should say. The original N8, actually the original N8, did it have it? I don't think it did actually. Anyways, yeah, then on the right side here, you have the power button, you have previous track, you have play pause, and you have next track here, and you have the micro SD card slot here. So that's on the right side here. And then on the left side, what you have here is basically a glass window where you can see the two Korg new tubes. So the 6P1 new tube is the one that is mostly known for Korg new tubes. I've been familiar with Korg new tubes since I played the Vox MV50 guitar amp back in 2019. So I know the capabilities of the 6P1. It's a really nice tube. It actually does sound a lot like a real vacuum tube. Because I think it is a real vacuum tube, it's just redesigned to be a lot smaller and take up less power. So, but it behaves pretty similar to, or exactly the same as a traditional vacuum tube. Just, yeah, smaller, taking up less power. So, yeah, anyways, the Korg new tubes are nice, and you get to see them through the glass here. And then on the back here, it says Cayin N8ii Master Quality Digital Audio Player. The actual name of the company is Too High Spark Electronic Equipment. Cayin is kind of their marketing brand name. Of course, made in China. So yeah, the N8ii. Okay, man, these days I'm actually quite satisfied with my DAPs. So I've just been getting these DAPs through trades and stuff. So the N6 III was through trade, and then the N8ii is through trade as well. I'll compare it to the best comparison would be to the Sony Walkman WM1ZM2. Because this is currently my main DAP when I want to, go traveling, if I'm going to sit on a flight for a long period of time, if I'm at home, if I'm in a hotel room, this is what I'll be using. So for my bigger DAP, I have like one bigger DAP, one smaller DAP that I use. They're for different purposes. So WM1ZM2 is for the best sound quality and just for a bigger DAP. And I have the low toggle touch for my this one is just for my everyday daily driver DAP because it's much smaller, easier to bring, and I just use it when I'm going outside or working out or whatever. So I have these two DAPs. That's basically my main DAPs for different purposes. The closest comparison is, of course, the WM1ZM2 because it is the bigger one, similar in size, form factor, both run Android, both similar priced. This is $3,700 US brand new. This was $3,500 brand new. They both came out the same year, 2022. So I think this is probably the best direct comparison. I believe the main Astone current player at the time was still the SP2000, I believe, because the 3000 I don't think launched until, what, 2023? So yeah, the other competitor would have been the SP2000. But yeah, I have these two with me, so this will be the direct comparison here. If you just look at the thickness, you can see that even though this WM1ZM2 is called the Gold Brick, and it is quite heavy at 0.5 kilogram, you guys can see that the N8ii is still noticeably thicker. Yeah. So as thick as the WM1ZM2 is, the N8ii is still substantially thicker. And that goes to show just how much of a beast the N8ii is. In terms of physical dimensions, it's kind of similar though. Like physical dimensions, kind of similar. Just the thickness, man, the N8ii is just an absolute beast. Yeah, see how much of a thick boy the N8ii is. Crazy. Yeah, this thing really feels like I'm carrying a battery pack with me, So yeah, there's that. In terms of weight, pretty similar. They're both weighing around 0.5 kilogram. Yeah, neither are super portable. They're mostly for like listening at home, I would say. And yeah, I mean, if you're gonna bring it, I'm gonna say just, you know, use it for long trips, like a long bus ride, long train ride, long plane ride. Use it for those kind of things, or just sitting at home listening is good too. I would not use this for daily out and about. It's these guys are just too big for that. I think not very wieldy. So yeah, screen size, they're both 5-inch, except this one is OLED. Power wise, the Cayin N8ii is going to be significantly more powerful because the WM1ZM2 outputs, I believe, up only 250 milliwatts to the balanced. But that's how Sony is. Sony doesn't care too much about the power. They care more about the musical sound quality, right? The presentation, the music itself, with a lot of cool DSP stuff going on there. Definitely the best app I've listened to so far. N8ii, it has 500 milliwatts on the unbalanced, 750 on the unbalanced. So yeah, significantly more powerful compared to the Walkman. What about compared to the Poggle Touch? Well, I mean, as you guys can see, this no comparison in terms of size here, right? The N8ii is significantly bigger. Thickness-wise, it's actually closer, but N8ii is still thicker, obviously. And it's a lot bigger in terms of the overall footprint. This is 500 milliwatts on both the balanced and unbalanced, so it comes closer to the power output of the N8ii. Even the N8ii still has more power on the balanced though. Screen size is smaller on the low 2, of course. This is what, 3.7 or something. And yeah, I would say mostly these are different. These are different DAPs. Not really too comparable. The only thing that would be comparable is I could see that the media playback controls are a little bit similar as well. N8ii has a bigger power button, but the actual playback buttons I think are similar size, and the dial. So you guys can check the etched volume dial of the N8ii compared to the etched volume dial of the Gold Touch. I still prefer the tactile feedback on the Gold Touch though. See, like, you guys can hear that? That's asthma right there. Volume dial asthma. Anyways, they're both etched gold volume dials. I still prefer the low 2. Yeah, they got some nice texture on them, but low 2 still wins for me, I think. Nothing is beating the low 2 Poggle Touch volume dial, man. I like Aston Kern has the watch crown volume dial, which you know I appreciate, but I still prefer low 2. Yeah, this is just so satisfying. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, and they're both all black. And they're both Chinese companies. But I would say the more direct competitor is the Sony WM1ZM2, both in terms of the price point, the form factor, the size. The year they came out is the same, 2022. They're both around Android, so I think this is probably the closest comparison. And yeah, I'm going to load up some songs on the N8ii. We're going to check out the operating system, look around a few songs, and I'll tell you guys about the sound quality as well. So I'm going to play a few songs and let you guys know, so stay tuned. Alright, so this is the Cayin N8ii after you boot it up. It's basically open Android 9, so you can install any apps that you want on it from Android Play Store, including all your streaming apps. Should be no issue. Just it runs like a bit older version of Android, but you know, most Android apps should still work on it, no problem. Overall, the experience is fairly similar to the Cayin N7, which I reviewed last year. I mean, not a surprise there. The N7 and the N8ii came out pretty close to each other. And yeah, I mean, it does come with a Cayin music player by default, which is what they want you to use, but then also includes Hi-B music player as well. And I'm actually more familiar with the Hi-B music player because I had a Hi-B or Hibi RS6 digital audio player for quite a while, so I actually prefer that app. But it's good that you have the choice, right? If you want the Hibi music player, you have that. If you want the Cayin music player, you have that as well. For this video, I'm going to focus on the Cayin because that's their app. Okay, and if you pull down from top, you'll see you're currently playing song, and then pull down more. You have other settings here. So these are all customizable. Your brightness, and then you can change the gain setting from high, low, and medium. What I find interesting is that in addition to the high, low, medium gain settings, you can change from the power and power plus mode. So if you want even more gain and even more power, you can change the power plus mode, but only when the amplifier is in class AB. If you're in class A, it doesn't let you do it. Yeah, so class A only has the power mode, Class AB, you can have power plus as well, P plus, I guess. So anyways, you have that option to have even more power if you want. But it's cool they have so many different options so you can save on battery if you don't need that much power. You have the option between tube mode and solid state mode, of course, just like you did on the N8. And virtually pretty much every tube powered digital audio player will give you that option. Amplifier type, Class A or AB. You can switch between those two. Class A is supposed to be more like natural, and Class AB has like more dynamics or something like that. Yeah, I've experienced some similar options in other digital audio players like the Aston SC300, but overall I would say it's like, from my experience, not too big of a difference. Class A is supposed to be the more pure one. You can also switch the balanced output here from the powered out or line out. So that's an option, because you see down here there's a dedicated line out for 3.5 only. So the 4.4 you have to switch in software, which is here if you want to go line out with a 4.4. 3.5 you don't need to because it just has a dedicated jack. Wi-Fi, change on and off, Bluetooth, and then change more audio settings here. Let me just double check what the Bluetooth version of the N8ii is. And yeah, it's Bluetooth 5.0. And it supports, let's go back to here. Yeah, it's Bluetooth 5.0. It supports both transmitting and receiving. And it supports LDAC, but not aptX. So yeah, just FY for the Bluetooth settings. Of course, you can order this in any way you want. You go to audio settings here. So this is some of the built-in DAC options here. A low-pass anti-aliasing filter setting, sharp roll-off or slow roll-off. This is something, I guess, that will be unique to the Realm DAC that's inside of this. DSD filter, you can change from DSD low, middle, or high. Digital out, you can change from SPDIF or 2S. Yeah, you can change that there. Output mode, just like we can in the shortcuts. We change some of the settings, the same thing here. Timbre, solid state or tube. Line out setting, low, medium, or high. Oh, okay. So I think this, you can change the line out setting from low, middle, or high as well. That's cool. And you can change the gain from low, medium, or high. So yeah, it's cool. You get that level of control over that for both line out and for powered out. DSD gain composition, channel balance, and max volume are all here. Volume control setting, change clockwise or anti-clockwise depending on which way you want to rotate the dial here. And you have an MQA decoder here. And this is what the interface looks like when you raise or lower the volume here. If you buy any Cayin digital audio player with Android, it'll have a similar interface to this. So yeah, essentially the same as the N8ii and the N7 will have the exact same interface here. So yeah, let's open up the Cayin music player, which is quite good. I mean, I still prefer heavy music or heavy music. I'm just used to it. But the Cayin music player is not so different, right? So you can go options here. You can scan for music filters, equalizer. So if you want to change your EQ here, you can turn on the EQ, and then you have a 10-band EQ here. So you can adjust that. 500 hertz, 31 hertz, actually, all the way to 16,000 hertz. And then you can also adjust the gain here as well. Parametric EQ, you have access to that as well. So it's good to have both a regular EQ and a parametric EQ if you want a bit more granularity over the control here. You can add tuning files as well. That's really cool. You can do this all in the heavy player too, but it's just, in the heavy player you also have the MSEB settings, the Magic 8-ball settings, I think, which Cayin doesn't have. So that's also another reason I prefer the heavy music, is that it has the MSEB. Sleep timer is disabled, show lyrics, turn on, cover lyrics off, lock screen settings, notifications, settings, okay. All that's there. And go from title, so you can do that, right? I have like maybe 16,000 songs here. Folder, if you want to just go directly into the SD card. Let's see, this still takes some time to load because it has to read directly from the SD card again. Yeah, at any time you can press this capacitive touch screen button to go home, or to go back, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, you can navigate by folder there on the card itself directly, and go by album or artist, which is the one I usually prefer. I prefer to go by artist. So if you want to search, which is the my preferred way of searching for music. Let's say I search for John Mayer here. John Mayer, he'll come up, artist, John Mayer. Okay, yeah, that's all his songs here, and I'll just choose one. Go here, and this is the music player interface for Cayin's music player here. Generally, it's pretty good. Yeah, if you like this interface or not, everyone has their own preferences, but it'll tell you the bit rate, yeah, bit rate and sample rate and everything. 96 kilohertz, 24 bits, 2,800 kilobytes a second, right? Then you can control hardware-wise or software-wise, whatever. You can do it from there. Just kind of swipe to get the lyrics, and then you can see more details about the music track here. 2017 pop rock, 2 channels, yep. And then I can go to the playlist here if I want to. I can favorite it. Actually, I can change the interface. Ooh, look at this. Yeah, I don't like that one. This is just a more simple one, but yeah, this one you can change repeat, loop single, shuffle all, list loop, sequential play. You can change the options there. And yeah, you have the option to add a playlist, equalizer, properties and stuff there. Yeah, and then I can go to the next one, the previous one here. Yeah, so there's that, and I can press this, go back. So pretty simple to navigate. The interface is pretty good. In terms of, I mean, I have like 16,000 songs on here, so just because I'm scrolling a lot, it does like get a little bit laggy, but normally it's not too laggy. Like generally it's fairly responsive, so that's pretty good. And yeah, the music player is pretty simple, easy to use. Of course, you can always use your own, right? You can use the Hibi Music, or you can just download your own music player because it's Android. So you can download anything, your streaming apps or whatever. So yeah, generally it's pretty good. Yeah, and that is pretty much it for the interface. So pretty good interface here, as you would expect from an Android-powered, a high-end Android-powered DAP. Yeah, so you can go by genre. Yeah, genre is also here as well. If you're gonna go by genre, here you can let's see, go up top here. Okay, there's a Hibi Link server here if you want to activate that. And then there's playlists, favorites recently, and playlists are here. And your music is here. Okay, so these are some of the other tabs here. They look a little bit grayed out, but you can definitely click on them. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the Cayin music player. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'll be playing some songs, and yeah, I'll be telling you guys what I think about the sound quality, and I'll compare it to the Sony Walkman that I have. Okay, another thing I want to show you guys is the tubes light up when you use it on tube mode, of course. So right now it is on solid state mode. So let me play it, solid state mode, and then let's say switch it to tube mode. It's got to preheat the vacuum tube. Takes 5 seconds. This is the same as in the N8. It's got to preheat it, and then you look on the side here, and now you see these glowing Korg new tubes. So yeah, so basically on the N8, it was below the display, and there was only one Korg new tube, right? So you only got 2 LEDs. Now you have 2 Korg new tubes, which means total of 4 LEDs appear on the side here, and then they appear on the left side. Yeah, because they switched the orientation of the tubes. Anyways, yeah, just want to show you guys the tubes lighting up. You know, that's one of the fun of having tubes, right? Not just for the warmer sound, but also because they light up, and they only light up when actually the music's playing. Yeah, to extend the life of the tubes. So, anyways, yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, stay tuned, guys. I'm going to give you guys my impressions of the sound, and also going to do a sound comparison test after. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so now I'm going to give you guys my sound impressions between the Cayin N8ii and the Sony Walkman WM1ZM2. These are pretty direct competitors to each other. They came out in 2022. Both of them at flagship prices, $3,500 US and $3,700 US. And yeah, I happen to have them both. So I'm going to do a direct comparison. They're both kind of big players. Both weigh around half a kilogram. This one is still a lot thicker, of course. So anyways, I'm gonna test it out. So I'm also gonna tell you guys, you know, my impressions of solid state mode versus tube mode as well. And the IEMs I'll be testing with is the IEMs I've been using for pretty much all of this year. So this is the Nostalgia Audio Tesseract, which retail for $3,700 US. I got them last year, and still been my main IEMs of choice. I really do love the mid-range and the soundstage of these guys. They're not the most technical. Of course, there's tons and tons of IEMs out there, and there are a lot, you know, there's so many that are better than this in terms of technicalities. But you know, there are so many expensive IEMs, and for me, like, this is good enough, you know, especially that I like the mids on it. I'm kind of a mids guy, and I really do like the mids on this, and soundstage and everything, so I'm satisfied with these. You know, no need to keep chasing and upgrading. A lot of people are just like, they keep buying these expensive IEMs to chase some dragon, you know, and they'll never be satisfied, and that just kind of is bad for your wallet and your mentality and your health and everything to get obsessed about IEMs like that. So for me, these are good enough. And I have upgraded it with the Unicorn Prestige cable from Nostalgia as well. It's a $500 aftermarket cable. So yeah, I'll be using them with the Sony Walkman WM1ZM2 first. This is my preferred big DAP of choice, I guess. This is one of the best sounding, if not the best sounding DAP I've ever listened to. So yeah. Okay. So this is Sony's proprietary S-Master HX technology. So they have their own proprietary DAC and chipset. With DSD remastering turned on, everything sounds a lot smoother. The volume is dropped a little, but everything just sounds a lot more smoother, more natural sounding. I tend to keep it in this setting, but it's actually like, if I turn it off, the sound becomes, it's like, you have more dynamics. It feels like it has more dynamics, but it's not quite as smooth anymore. It just feels like the music's like a little bit jagged, you know? So that's why I generally turn it on, but you know, it's actually not a fair comparison when I compare with other players, because turning DSD remastering on just makes this sound so much smoother than everything else, like compared to any other DAP. So anyways, I turn it off. I usually either use a direct one. Yeah, I can use the DSE Ultimate, which is an upscaling technology Sony has, but yeah, if I just turn direct on, that means that bypasses all the DSP that Sony has, and that's probably what I'll be using to test it, because it's kind of unfair to have DSD remastering on. It just makes every music so much more listenable. But yeah, that's a Sony thing, you know. It's only on the 1ZM2 in this generation, I believe. So yeah, what happened is after I turned direct on, yeah, 1ZM2 is going to be my reference point. It sounds really good still, even without DSD remastering, without DSP stuff. Just the player itself, with the S-Master HX circuitry and everything, sounds great. Very musical. This is still warm sounding, not quite as warm as the WM1Z, the first generation, but still kind of warm sounding. Yeah, and it's a very musical listen. And dynamic sounding. It's actually more dynamic sounding when I don't use DSD remastering. So anyways, I will compare it to the N8ii now. And I'll be using solid state first, and then I'll switch to tube. Okay. We'll play the same songs. Alright, so I have my verdict in about the N8ii. So, yeah, I'm going to tell you guys what I think about the solid state versus tube sound first, then I'll compare it with the Sony. So first of all, the amplifier type, Class A versus Class AB, honestly, I don't know, like this, maybe it's just me or something like that, I don't hear any difference. There's like zero difference between these two. It's like, I kept A-Bing it back and forth, like literally just like blindly, oh, Class A, Class AB, Class A, Class AB. It sounds exactly the same. I don't know, like, for me, I didn't tell the difference between Class A or Class AB. I just kept it on Class A. I assume it's a more pure sound or whatever, but to me, there's no tonal difference at all. At least with the SC300, I could tell some sort of a difference. This, the N8ii, I can't tell any difference between amplifier type A or B. And then with the tube versus solid state, it's interesting. So on the solid state setting, it actually, like, this sounds quite a bit more. It sounds very detailed and also like close to neutral, I would say. Maybe that's just the Roam DAC inside of this thing. I've never tried a Roam DAC before, but it seems to be fairly neutral and fairly close to the 4499EX, I would say. So it actually sounds like as technical and as detailed as the SP3000M that I had before. So if you guys remember, last year I had the Acetone Current SP3000M Copper Nickel, and that one had 4 AKM 4499EX chips inside of it. That's for the flagship AKM DACs. And this one honestly sounds kind of like that on solid state mode, which means it's pretty good. Right, the 2 BD DACs inside of here, the Roam BD DACs, sound as good as the AKM 4499EX, I would say, which is pretty good. Supposedly, no, some people online say it's not as good in terms of the spec sheet, but for me, like, you know, you're talking about minor differences when you get into like flagship DACs, right? So for me, it sounds fairly detailed, and resolving and technicalities are all pretty good. So if I had this, I don't have my SP3000M anymore to compare. Now the SP3000M might still be a bit better in blacker background, distortion, less noise and everything, but to my ears, on solid state mode, the N8ii II comes pretty close to the SP3000M. So the 2 mode is interesting on this thing. It does sound warmer, of course, as you would expect. So it sounds noticeably warmer than the solid state mode, and still very technical. And I would say it's overall like, yeah, like overall the distortion and noise is going to be like, it's going to be more than the solid state mode because it uses a tube, but it still sounds really, really good in terms of dynamics, technicality, and everything, but noticeably warmer. Now compared to the N8, it's not quite as warm sounding as the N8. It leans a little bit more neutral, even in the tube mode. And I think that's the difference of the DAC. So the Roam DAC chip inside this thing is just quite neutral to begin with. Maybe more so than the 4497 that was in the N8. The N8 had an AKM 4497. That one combined with the Korg new tube sounded pretty tubey, actually, to be honest. Very warm and tubey. This one doesn't sound quite as warm as the N8 does. Leans a little bit more neutral, I would say. That might be the influence of the Roam DAC. But it's still got a little bit of warmth to it, you know? So I can kind of compare it to the Sony WM1ZM2 now, because the Sony WM1ZM2, the way that Sony engineers tuned this is to be a bit warmer, more dynamic sounding in the first place, or musical sounding for lack of a better word. So that's what the Sony Walkman, like the gold bricks one, has been known for, the WM1Z, the WM1ZM2. Now in my video of the WM1ZM2, I said it's not quite as warm or not quite as musical as the WM1Z, the first generation. But this is like side by side, right? It's still very warm, very musical sounding. Just in comparison to the WM1Z, not quite as much. This leans a little bit more neutral compared to the WM1Z. Compared to the N8ii II on the tube mode, because this has the Roam DAC, which sounds fairly neutral as well, combined with that tube, which gives a bit of warmth, I would say that these two sounds very similar to each other. So WM1ZM2, not quite as warm as WM1Z, but still a bit warm and musical sounding still, right? It's got that Sony Walkman DNA to it. The N8ii II, not quite as warm sounding as the N8, maybe because of the Roam DAC, but still a bit warm because of the tubes, right? So on tube mode, this actually sounds fairly similar to the Walkman WM1ZM2, without the DSD remastering. On DSD remastering, I still prefer this, because it's just so smooth and organic sounding with the DSD remastering and the DSP stuff turned on, but I turned off all that, just go direct. Then it's pretty similar between these two. Like sound wise, they're both very detailed, dynamic sounding. Soundstage, like resolution and detail are fairly similar between these two. Sony did a good job, of course, with their own proprietary circuitry, the S-Master HX, but then the Roam DAC chip inside here is very capable as well. So yeah, I think that's what I gotta say here, is that N8ii II is pretty technical. It's very good. Like on solid state mode, it competes almost with the SP3000M that I had before, which is a flagship Acetone Current DAP. Then on tube mode, it competes pretty well with the Sony WM1ZM2, with the caveat that I turned off the DSP stuff on this one. So with the DSP stuff turned on, I still prefer the Sony, but with it turned off, pretty close between these two, honestly. They're both good, very detailed soundstage, and yeah, the sense of musicality, maybe Sony still wins out a little bit on that, but it's pretty close. You know, this still leans a little bit more neutral than the Sony does. But when you had tube mode turned on, pretty close. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about these two, is that if you guys are looking for flagship DAP with tubes in it, now this is not necessarily the most tubey sounding DAP, that would be the original N8, but next to the N8, this is probably the next best thing for like very tube sounding digital audio player. Because you know what? A lot of other digital audio players these days, if they're putting tubes inside the players, they're putting the Cayin N8ii vacuum tubes. The sub-miniature ones, like Sony M7T does it, which I reviewed on my channel before. Cayin N8ii does it. Yeah, like they're putting these small sub-miniature tubes. Cayin actually does it themselves with the N3 Ultra. None of these guys sound as tubey as the Korg new tubes. The Korg new tubes actually sound more tubey than the Cayin N8ii Raytheon sub-miniature tubes. To be honest, you know, just from my opinion, I've tried a lot of those guys. I prefer the Korg new tubes, and I think so far as I know, Cayin is the only DAP manufacturer to use Korg new tubes, and these are more tubey sounding in my opinion. So yeah, now N8 is still going to be even warmer, but N8ii is still pretty good, you know. And like I said, on tube mode, it competes pretty well with the Sony Walkman WM1ZM2, and this is actually the best DAP I've ever heard. Right, so that's saying something, right? So yeah, I just love the organic, lush sound that you get out of the Walkman natively, because that's how that Sony tuned it to be like that, and then out of the tube version of the N8ii, the tube mode, that adds more warmth and lushness to it. So yeah, pretty impressive. I still don't like the size; it's just way too thick. Look at this, right? Way too thick. I still prefer the N8ii. So in terms of the form factor, I still prefer the N8ii. Yes, this is still heavy, still a brick, but it is less so than the N8ii just because of how massively thick this guy is. It's like a portable battery bank, right? It's essentially bringing like a portable charger. So it's just way too big for me. Way too thick for me. Still prefer the Sony. And of course, if I put on the DSD remastered DSP feature on this, then this beats everything else, man. That DSD remaster feature is really OP, in my opinion. That just makes every sound, like every song, so much more smoother, more organic sounding. Yeah, it's only on the Sony Walkman series, like the WM1AM2 I think has it as well as the WM1ZM2, of course. But yeah, that thing is kind of proprietary to Sony, so that DSD remastering feature is really, really OP in my opinion. It just, yeah, that puts this above everything else. But if I turn that feature off, if I just skip past the DSP stuff, which is kind of cheating, then this sounds pretty similar to this on tube mode. So yeah, both really nice sounding players. Of course, very expensive, but you know, that's what it is when it comes to flagship DAPs. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, like the Cayin also has a lot of extra ports as well, and more power than the Sony, right? It comes with all these other dedicated ports as well, the 2S SPDIF port, dedicated line out port, and it's got more power on it compared to the Sony. So you might want to choose the Cayin N8ii for those reasons. But overall, like, yeah, I don't really make too much use of these ports, especially the 2S. I don't really use that all too much. And then yeah, the extra power, like I don't have really powerful headphones to drive, so I'm okay on that. Just the size of this thing I don't like. Yeah, although the versions of Android are pretty similar I think as well. So I still go with the N8ii for me anyways, but I can see why someone might go with the N8ii. So pretty close in terms of sound quality though. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Cayin N8ii or the Sony Walkman WM1ZM2. Now, I will have a sound comparison test video coming up. I've taken sound samples from a bunch of different digital audio players using the same songs, same microphone, same headphone, volume matched. Yeah, and you guys can maybe see if you can tell a difference or not. So yeah, I'll put the N8ii in there, and I'll put it up against the original N8, then the WM1ZM2, as well as the Astro & Kern SP3000M, as well as the Luxury and Precision E7. I'll put the Low-2 Poggle Touch in the comparison video as well, since this was the Low-2 flagship at the time that the N8ii came out, because I think the GT2 came out 2023. So yeah, at the time in 2022, this would have still been the flagship for Low-2, so I can compare it with this as well. By the way, Poggle touch, still got very neutral tonality. If I were to compare it with the Cayin N8ii on solid state mode, the solid state mode on the N8ii will still beat the low 2 Poggle touch in terms of technicalities. Tonality wise, they're both neutral, but just this one will win based on technicalities. And then on tube mode, this is gonna sound a bit more musical and lush compared to the Poggle touch. So yes, N8ii is a more technical player than the Poggle touch, but the size difference is like massive. And I wouldn't say the sound quality difference is all that much either. Like this is maybe like technicality wise, yeah, maybe like 20-25% better than the low 2 Poggle touch. I mean, this Roam chip is very capable, and then you add in the tubes. Yeah, it's gonna be like more musical sounding if you have the tubes turned on. If you have them turned off, it's still gonna be more technical sounding than the low 2 Poggle touch. But this thing is newer as well. It's 4 years newer than the Poggle touches. It's not really a fair comparison because low 2 came out with the GT2 the next year, and I haven't done a video on the GT2 yet, unless someone trades me for that as well. But I think the GT2 would actually be the better competitor for the N8ii, not the original. So anyways, stay tuned for the sound comparison test. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the Cayin N8ii. Yeah, you can find this pretty easily secondhand now, and you can find it quite discounted, I would say. So like for my Sony WM1Z that I traded for this, I was selling that for $1,000 US. So I basically got this for $1,000 US, which is a huge discount from the $3,500 MSRP, right? So you can find this pretty cheap secondhand nowadays. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. And as always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the sound comparison test.
The sun is setting and you're right here by my side, and the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crashing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you. The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you. The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you. The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you. The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you. The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you. The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you. The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you.
Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side. There, ooh, and then I suddenly see you, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life.
guess I'm living at a place that kills. Ooh, yeah. I'm running with the devil. Running with the devil. I'll tell you all about it. I live my life like there's no tomorrow, and all I've got I had to steal. Beast out on me, try to